What up? What up? Truthfully, I wasn't gonna go live because I'm all kind of stuffed up. But then I was like, F it. No biggie. Hold on. I'm just trying to pull it up on my phone. There we go. Alrighty. Anybody that wants to join me live? I mean, that invitation goes to anybody. Sorry for the delay. I was cutting my fingernails. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday? What's up, Beth? Happy Sunday to you, Nana72. Hiawatha. Anything I like. Sylvia. She Warrior. Brett. My guy Frank. What's up? I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Brett? Anything you guys want to talk about specifically? Let me know. I got some things about Delphi I would like to cover, but I'm curious. What do you guys want to talk about? What's up, Don? Cindy, how are you? What's up, Bird Brain? Christine? What's going on, Ziggy? Hung out in the Discord a little bit earlier. Did a little watch party. What's going on, Sharon? Patricia Warner, good to see you. Hey, what's going on, Jill? Having a great night. Hope you're having a good night. Peruvian, what's up? Splendid. Sharon Parker, Jerry, Julia. What's up, Jamie? Good to see you. True Crime Time. Metal Mama. My guy Farmer, what's up? Good to see everybody. How was your weekend? The Shiz? You changing your name or what? What's up, Taco? So, yeah, that thumbnail is just one thing I wanted to talk about, amongst others. Thanks, Beth. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. True crime and other stuff. What's going on? I feel like I've been kind of quiet this week, this whole weekend. Been looking at the Carly Lane Gousset case. We'll be getting together tomorrow on that case for True Crime in the Morning. So, should be a pretty decent deep dive into the case. What's up, Brad, from outside of the grid? Hiawatha, man, Sleuth, you sound like me, full of snot. Well, I'm not full of snot. I don't know what it is. Whatever this weed that I bought. Apple fritter. Yeah, anytime I smoke it, it just gets me all nasally. It'll go away here in a minute. Watch. I can feel it kind of clearing up. But that's what I was waiting on. It's like, yeah, screw it. Along with a bottle of water. Plus, it's really cold out here right now. We just got some hail. What you up to, Frank? Julia, Carly Gousset is a good one. I'm glad you're covering it. Thank you, Sleuth. Yeah, that case is crazy. When you hear things like vanished without a trace, usually there's like a small trace. But in this case, no. 100% vanished without a trace. Unless you consider a couple witnesses seeing her walking down the street as a trace, but I guess I'm speaking from that point on. Yeah, that's a good point. Beth Gonzalez says Carly's case is eerily similar to Jordan Sofer. I was thinking the same thing. Her and another case. So I don't know what that is. What causes that for people to leave their cell phones like that? And I think that's what you're referring to, right, Beth? The cell phone, the purse, everything, and you're just like kind of. It's almost as if you're just going to walk around the corner for a quick talk, maybe, or a cigarette or something. Something you don't plan to be gone very long. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. Also the Mitrice case too. What's up, True Crime Time? Says some strains have that effect on me. Yeah, it's like right up in my nasal. But it's like whatever. I just hope it's not like some old weed or something. Mess with that mold. Frank says sounds like when I smoked that dab. I mean, I did smoke a fat joint. But that's nothing new. What's up, Michelle? Yeah, it's really good. It smells good. I just don't know why it's clogging me up. Starting to clear up a little bit. What's up, Devoted? So let me pull up that thumbnail. Of course, that's relating to Delphi. The age-old question. Why did they cross that creek? Well, they didn't have a choice. Where else are they going to go? I think they chose flight, Abby and Libby. But they only had one place to go. Now, this black area right here would represent basically cliff face or cliff rock. You'd be climbing over that. This light brown area kind of shows you that island there and how shallow it is. So they may have even seen that and said, "Hey, we can cross here, and if we can make it up over the hill, that's where our ride is expecting us." So that's just one of the things I was thinking about today. Smart shopper. Most likely because smoke irritates your lungs and sinuses. Well, considering I've been smoking for since I was 12. Something to do with this strain. I might be allergic to it. Who knows? Think people get like slight allergies. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab another water. What I miss? The wife's cooking something good downstairs. Smells yummy. What's up, Molly? Violet Dragon? What up? Anything I like. Did they know anyone that lived over the hill that they would have ran to? Well, they were getting picked up over there. That was their ride. Devoted. They were taking any opportunity to run. They had a middle-aged drunk man chasing them down with a gun. Maybe it was worse than drunk. What if it was like PCP? I mean, if we go back to the Keegan Kline transcript, he talked about PCP. Maybe that's some kind of a connection. I don't know. Maybe that's why everything was so weird. Let's see what else I have here. I got a bunch of stuff written down over the weekend. Oh, yeah. What about Keegan Kline's transcript where investigators were asking Keegan Kline about the Anthony Shots account and who was using it, who was communicating with Libby, and he was just kind of like, I'm not really sure. Like I know I created the account, I can tell you that, but I don't remember saying that. Well, one of the things that apparently was said to Libby was something along the lines of, well, those aren't nudes, so what are you good for? As if whoever was using the Anthony Shots account, and it could have been Keegan, but it doesn't sound like it. Why admit to being Anthony Shots and knowing Libby and knowing her friend and all of this, and then just right at that one point say, well, I'm just not too familiar with that. Doesn't make any sense. So whoever was using it said that. Something along it almost seemed as if they were soliciting photos, maybe. So can that play into the weirdness of the crime scene? Like, oh, you're going to give me those photos. But I just don't think that explains what was going on with the Delphi swim hoodie and some of that strangeness. But I think with this image, it kind of helps because with the first leak of crime scene photos, we had some of Libby's clothing here, right here in the water. And we know by interviews with Becky, Patty, and Kelsey, they talk about the shoe. Well, this is where they found it. Everybody's like, why is there 3 shoes? How is there one in the water over here and then one on the ground? Well, there's not. The photo that came out in that leak of the Nike tennis shoe in the water is the same photo that was found right here where you see this mock-up here. That's the shoe they found. It wasn't on the ground. They found it in the water right here. And Kelsey was up here on the private drive. And they said, hey, what kind of shoe is she wearing? He said, well, a Nike, a black Nike, black and white Nikes. Well, we found a shoe. Well, from that shoe, there was footprints going up into the woods. Right there. And we know what happened from there. Well, we know what the final scenario was. Yeah, I don't think anybody fired any bullets. Yeah, Molly, my nose literally got stuffed like right before the live stream. But every time it happens with this apple fritter. But I have a feeling it might be old. I don't know. I worry about that mold. You know, now that the Mary J is legal, they might be mass storing it. You don't want to do that. Make sure that shit is fresh. So at one point, somebody who was communicating with Libby using the Anthony Shots account says, these are not nudes. What are you even good for? Like this person was requesting nudes and the girls were messing with them. Like And we hear about the Anthony Shots money account. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's pictures of money or um, actual money. So if they send the girls money somehow, maybe through Apple, I mean, she had an iPhone. It's super easy to send people money that way. Um, I mean, there's a million ways, right? So what if they're upset about that? You're gonna get, you're gonna give me those photos. Just a theory. What's up, Sensei? Good to see you. What up? What's up, Wolf? Caricature. Just broke up my arguing daughters. Happy to zone out. They were at each other's throats. Michelle says they must have ran. Yeah, I think they ran, and then there was a confrontation. This is where they were captured, right here. Most likely right on the other side. That's why Libby's clothing was all over this water right here, and then some went downstream. What's up, true crime fangirl? All right. What else? Let's see. If you look at the defense memo, the one that was leaked, it states there that Richard Allen frequented the trails. So why did he kill on those days? If he's constantly on those trails, why that day? See, we have Abby and Libby's clothing right there on the edge of the opposite side of that creek. I think these are just some of the items that got caught. I don't know what the hell that is. It kind of looks like a Richard Allen's little beanie. You know, the one he was wearing at the pool hall? I don't know if it's inside out. You kind of see a little brim here. I'm not quite sure what that is. But you can kind of see the seam line right here, where these type of beanies meet in the middle, kind of like a basketball. That's how you have to sew it. And then Libby's famous tie-dye. So that absolutely tells me that something horrible happened right here in the water. So they tried to run. And everybody says, well, how is Richard Allen going to carry Libby? She's 200 pounds, this and that. She's an athlete. Well, he didn't. He had to chase her after what he had done to her best friend. She almost got away. And that's why he chased her. And that's why you have an unspent shell casing right there. Because he intimidated her. You're not going anywhere. And then he probably said, you're going back this way. And then as soon as she turned around, he struck her from behind like a coward. It's probably how he did both attacks. So he didn't carry Libby. He just killed her and covered her. The only person he had to move was probably Libby because that's the only thing that makes sense. Unless he had help. What's going on, Connie? So I have a feeling it just happened to get caught up here. But they tried to make it over this hill, and he probably grabbed one of them, right? Early on in the case, we hear a story of one friend who would not leave the other. You guys remember that? The story was that Abby would not leave Libby. So I don't know really what that means. Thank you, Taco. Appreciate that. Frank says, "I'm looking into the connection between KK mom and the Walker and the Allen family. Well, I've been talking with another local person that graduated with Kathy. Graduated with her. Now, this person is telling me a lot. I don't know whether to believe it. I don't know. I mean, this is a long time. Like we're talking over a couple years now. And all of a sudden they decide to communicate with me about where they're from and what they know. Now, they can't verify a connection between TK and Richard Allen, but definitely between TK and Kathy Allen. Like 100%. Not only that, they can tie TK to Jordan Sofer's biological mother. So I thought that was very interesting. So I don't know if that information helps with anything. Julia says, I've always had a theory that maybe the killer and Abby hit Abby unconscious in the creek and made Libby help carry her to land. No, I think you're half right. I think there was an attack on Abby. It may have even been something similar to Libby, but just not as effective, right? Maybe even the first attack. And he got better the second time around. And only for her to kind of come up over the creek to see what had happened and maybe to be hit again. But I think it's very possible for Richard Allen to do this alone. But that's just my opinion. Devoted says KK is so disgusting. I can't trust a word that comes out of his mouth. Well, one thing we've learned uh, specifically from victims, right? They always look so guilty. Well, the reason they look guilty is because they start spewing misinformation because they think they're helping. They speak to investigators, and investigators tell them, hey, this is an ongoing investigation. We don't want you guys divulging too much information. So when they get caught on the spot and the case becomes high profile and you have all these reporters and journalists sticking microphones in your face, what you do is it's like a defensive misinformation. You're not trying to cover up any type of guilt. You're just trying to do your best. The investigator said, hey, don't give out this information. So when you're caught on the spot and you're in the middle of trying to tell your story about what happened, and then here comes that question that you're not supposed to answer, right? So you provide misinformation so you can skip through it and continue on, but you're not telling a blatant lie. So I think that might be what's going on with Keegan Klein. I think he's cooperating with investigators and he's giving his misinformation. He thinks he's helping. What else did I have here? Oh, one more thing on Delphi. Inside the CPS building. Tell me this ain't crazy. And then I got some weird theories that we can poke holes in. Okay, so this is the YouTuber with the unicycle. So this is a short clip of him just walking right into the CPS building in 2018. So this will give you an inside look. Now, why did Richard Allen back into there? And why did we see multiple vehicles? So there was a theory I was kind of thinking. What if they were kidnapped? Richard Allen parked here, kidnapped the girls into another vehicle that was parked at the cemetery, and then they went here and then brought the girls back separately to the crime scene where they killed them individually. And that's why they have the weird clothing, different vehicles. But I don't know. I feel like there would be an easy way to poke holes into that theory because of the Who's Your Harvestor video. But I thought I'd run it by you guys. Why did Richard Allen park here? Is this the shack? And very similar to the Idaho 4, right? They knock it down. What'd they do with this CPS building? They knocked it down. Because later on down the road, they know it's just going to be part of a horrible story. Maybe in this theory, right? Hypothetically. So those were some of the thoughts that I had in regards to the Delphi case. I really wanted to go live about it, but I was like, we'll just hang out. We'll do a sleuth crew check-in. I'll run it by everybody. And then we can talk about other things as well. Anything I like says, does anybody know for sure the girls' clothes were wet? From what I hear, it appeared in the crime scene photos that yes, they were wet. Even the hair appeared to be um, as if it had been recently wet. I mean, that theory is kind of far fetched, but you always wonder why did they park there? Well, I don't know. Did he meet the girls here before? This guy just walked right into this building. It doesn't look like there's any graffiti in there, but maybe a few people knew that you can get in there. I mean, this guy ain't fucking James Bond. Well, he might be. He's riding around on a unicycle. Shit, he might be. Mary Margaret. Libby's footprints were found on the riverbank. Exactly. They actually followed him up. If their clothes weren't wet, the attack would have done before the water. Yeah, I think they were wet. I don't know. I just always thought the redressing and the stuff with the hoodie and the 2 bras and all of that, I always felt like it told the story of a second location or a killer who was under the influence, one or the other. Molly's asking, any thoughts about the garage down the private drive? Could be a good place to wash up, hide, dry, bring them there. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies surrounding the Weber residence and Brad Weber himself. Um, we talked to Julian Powell. He said, "Yeah, I was there that day from 3:30 to 4, between 3:30 and 4." Well, he worked with Brad Weber. I don't know. Is there any connection between Julian Powell, Brad Weber, and Richard Allen? I don't know. But I know they searched that residence quite thoroughly. Maybe they found something. Doesn't mean that it's related to the residence, right? But from my understanding, this Brad character showed up right around 4, right after a shift, the following day. And the owners of the property actually were snowbirds out here in Arizona around me. And I guess they were asked to meet somewhere locally. I think it was actually at like a McDonald's or something. And I think they initially just wanted to get permission, and they did, to search everything. But yeah, I think he might have been a suspect at some point. They took all his clothing, anything that looked like what the bridge guy was wearing, very similar to what they did to Richard Allen. Just notice what they did to all these people that they, thought were suspects or warranted a search of their home. Nothing happened, right? Even with Ron Logan, nothing happened. But what happened with Richard Allen? They searched his home and then they arrested him. There's a difference there. So I had that. Let me see what else I got. No, I think that might be it with Delphi. Oh, no, actually, well, I'm going to save that. I'm going to vet some of this stuff here first. Let's go to the chat. What's up, Robin? What's going on, Boston? Julia says, when I was Libby's age, my friends and I definitely did the same thing, sending fake nudes and giggling, thinking it was so funny. It was a guy we knew, but same teen behavior. Yeah, that would be hilarious. But what if the person on the other end is completely out of their mind at that moment? I mean, I'm hearing rumors from locals that this dude was known to be, that there was something wrong with him from a young age. So I don't know if there's any truth to that. It's not like these are some rumors that I'm reading on Reddit or whatever. These are people who say, hey, Sleuth, I grew up with these people. I know these people. I know Kathy Allen. I know the Kleins. I know Richard Allen. I know all of these people, you know. So they're in the same circle. And I truly believe that before too long, we're going to hear about this connection. Whether it implicates anybody or not, you don't need to be guilty of murder to be connected to it in some way or the other. You know, there could be a third party, you could be a mutual friend. What's up, Digital? I thought Erskine said they didn't see footprints or drag marks that led to the bodies. I don't know. Erskine said a lot of things. Can't cling on to one piece of information. uh, I call it the human factor. It's constantly changing. It's like liquid. You can't get stuck on it. Did Richard Allen go back to the trails after the killings? I don't know. There's absolutely no evidence to even suggest that. I've never even heard about a garage. Sounds like some Reddit stuff. Squeaky says he killed the day because everything lined up just right. Like what? What lined up? And what was different that day than any of the many times he's been on the trail? What lined up? I mean, that sounds good. I'm sure things did line up. Maybe they didn't. Maybe nothing lined up. Maybe he was forced to do something and he was highly motivated and he got lucky. He thought he was going to get caught right away, but he didn't. Devoted his wife out of town, Valentine's Day coming up, daughter gone. Yeah, she had moved out and in with her fiance, who got married not long after the murders. Maybe he has an opportunity now. I do think that is part of it. I heard there was a sink as well, but you hear everything in this case. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Glass Rose, let's say he's trying to make it look like something it isn't. Throws some clothes in the river to make it look like they crossed it. The thing is, he just committed a murder. Why spend the time to go out into the open and leave a trail? That makes absolutely no sense. He's either motivated to do what he's doing or he's with a group of people that are have their own motivations. You have two separate motivations, or you have a rushed crime scene. But there's absolutely no reason for him to spend. Why is he spending extra time doing anything? Why not just commit the murders, commit the act, and then you're out and just leave them there wherever they are? Why are you doing all this extra shit? To me, it says a whole lot about this perpetrator, and I want to know what it is. But it's not that easy. You know, he didn't commit the murder and then run back and say, "Here, look, this is where I committed the murder. Here's some clues for you." No. He forced them to take their clothes off, most likely right there in the water or somewhere nearby, and that's why the clothing got caught up there. I don't know if it was up on top of the bank line or right there on the edge, but I believe that's exactly what happened. Squeaky says, plus his wife was out of town. Might have been a decent amount of cleanup to do after he got home. I don't know. I feel like he planned this. He planned it out quite well. Let's see what else. Let me see if I have any more visuals here. And then we'll take another quick break. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. All right, let's go to some of these other notes here. What about the resetting of Libby's phone? Apparently, that happened 10 days prior to the murder and was done by Tara. Now, Tara is the sister of Libby's father and the daughter of Becky Patty. Now, is that going to kind of feed into some of the information that's going to be held secret until it's all said and done? I mean, it's obviously tied into it, right? Feeds into the inappropriate relationship and why they would need an Anthony Shots type account to set the girls up. Then also Valentine's Day being right there, right? Something's up with that. What's up, Mary Flynn? Character says, I don't know why, but I think he did it all alone. Seems like a loner type that didn't involve others in his sickness. And all the evidence suggests a lone wolf. I get caught up on the motive part of it. The only reason I talk about Anthony Shots at all or any other people being involved is because I can't get over the motive. So that's my confirmation bias part of it all. That's my bias of it. It's my personal belief that this person was highly motivated. And if you're highly motivated, you're going to come up with a plan and you're going to need tools to accomplish your goals, right? I think Anthony Shots was simply just a tool for what he had to accomplish. And maybe Valentine's Day had a big part to play in it. Either he was double crossed or he wants to make sure not to upset his wife. He wants to keep a secret. You know, maybe that feeds into the resetting of the phone. There was an inappropriate conversation, inappropriate exchange of text messages, images. I don't know. That's the picture that I'm seeing. So I have to be honest to that. Do I have any experience? Am I a professional investigator? No. But I have spent a lot of time on this case. All right, let me zip on down here. Julia, I don't know what evidence there could be to show that one girl didn't leave the other. I think the fact that one perpetrator was able to kill two victims tells that story to me. You know, you don't have two knives and two hands, right? Doesn't seem to be like anybody was tied up. So to me, it sounds like one person stayed and it may have been a fatal mistake, but at the same time, it could it could be poetic in a dark way. But that was the story that they were best friends, and one didn't leave the other. So that could explain how one perpetrator was able to kill two. The other person refused to leave the other side, and they paid the price with their life. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that could be what that's all about. Molly, would there be a reason the person you're talking to recently doesn't have a reason to be scared? No, honestly, I just feel like this person has just been comfortable with me all of a sudden, and they assumed I knew a lot. That's why I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about what they said to me because um it could actually compromise the case. Honestly. And I think once this person realized how truly ignorant I was, because I was honest, I didn't lead them on and say, "Oh, tell me more about that." Yeah, I know all about that. No, I was like, I absolutely have no clue what you're referring to, and you've already told me too much. But it had a lot to do with what we were talking about, the recent discovery, and right around the search. So, I mean, it's very interesting. So only time will tell. Let's see what else we got here. Nope, that's it. That's all I had on Delphi. Those are all my notes, guys. And we're right at the hour mark. So we'll catch up on the chat, see what you have to say about all that. Shout out to Taco. Let's go to all the sponsors here. Taco, looks like he hit us up twice. Super sticker, super. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Jamie Hicks coming through with a proud Sleuth Crew member. Yeah, shout out to Jamie. Thanks, Jamie. All right, let's see what's going on. Looks like Tech Death is walking in. What's up, Tech? Yeah, we can talk about whatever you guys want, but tomorrow, early in the morning, we are going to be covering the Carly Lane Gousset case. Man, I spent all weekend diving into this case, and I'm not done yet. But man, this is a tough one, guys. I mean, it just seems like the frustration of not knowing is what will drive a man and drive people insane. That's awful. What's up, Robert? Really enjoying the members only videos with my membership. Y'all get you some if you haven't already. Yeah, we're going members only this Wednesday. We stay busy. Welcome in. I don't know, Tech Death. Apparently there was a whole thing about a garage. I didn't hear anything about it. I know nothing of it. What's up, Cryptex? The connection you were talking about between TK and KA has anything to do with the used car dealer business? That's the first I've heard of that. But yeah, there is that connection there. As when they were younger, they were all friends. But I'll have more on that. I've barely begun to touch the surface on that. That's new information to me as of like Friday-ish. I'll reach out to the source, try to get more details, maybe some more proof of what they're saying is accurate, and we'll hit it a little bit harder. I think it's interesting. I just feel like it's this person has a lot of information. They know a lot of details. I don't want. It looks like it could affect the case and everything that's been going on with the crime scene leaks. I don't want to. I don't want to have anything to do with any of that kind of stuff. So I've been biting my tongue. I shared a few things with a few people, but nothing, no names or anything. So maybe just so they could try to help vet it, or maybe they can say, "Oh, I've heard those same bullshit stories, but this one's pretty solid." I'll have more about it later. I'm not trying to like leave you guys hanging or like, ooh, might be nothing. Jamie, I thought I was always thinking deep. Yeah, this apple fritter's not even that strong. It's just fucking with my sinuses. Why was he trying to look like Derek German? That's a good question. I always thought maybe they were connected in a way because of that weird beard, but maybe he was doing some weird shit. But I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe he was just trying to look different. Cindy says you were mentioning earlier that Richard Allen walked the trails all the time before the killings. That's what we read in the leaked defense memorandum. That's where I get that from. That's my source. I was wondering if he kept using the trails all the time after the murders. Just a thought. Well, remember the image of the 2018 presser? The one that I made the video about where it looks like he's actually hiding back there? You know, maybe that's the reason that they went to the trails. Maybe there was a reason they did the presser at the trails. You know, there was some kind of weird strategy behind the 2019 presser. I mean, why do it at the trails? Try to draw this person out. Maybe it worked. 2019 presser, they made everybody sign in. And then right in the middle of the presser, they said, the killer could be in this room. And we made all of you sign in. So you're all fucked. You're not going anywhere. We're going to get DNA from each and every one of you. Well, why is that? Maybe it had a lot to do with that photo in the 2018 presser that I showed you guys. What's up, Jill? Good to see you. All right, guys, this is going to be the last call, final call. Let me zip on down. Oh, this is a new David Lowry. Michael Lowry. What you know about that? I think you are right at Sleuth Intuition. I think he had an inappropriate relationship. Yeah, everything points to that. You got the resetting of the phone. You got Valentine's Day. You got all this weird Anthony shots. You know, the girls are right at that age where they're flirtatious and they have starting to have boyfriends and secret relationships. We know Abby was dating the Logan Holder guy. So, you know, the world is happening very quickly for them. We all know that. We all know what 13 and 14 was like. It was very hard for me. And that's why this case means so much to me, because these girls weren't doing any. I was a bad kid, but they're not doing anything wrong. You know, we have two good kids here, and it's just hard for me to think about that. You know, I did everything wrong as a kid, and everything worked out just fine for me. Why is it that when they do everything that they're supposed to be doing, which is being rambunctious and should be susceptible to predators, right? If it's able to, if you're naive, you know, you shouldn't be like, oh, well, that's definitely a predator. And you know, there's just no reason a 13, 14-year-old should ever know what that is. They should be protected. Now, unless you're my child, of course you're going to know exactly what that is, because I'm an annoying, paranoid parent who's going to beat it into your head. But I also cover true crime content on a YouTube channel. So there's a little bit of a difference, right? So hindsight is 2020 is the moral of all of that, right? That's how I try to live in hindsight. I don't want any of this to be in vain. All of this pain and suffering from these families. I want to learn from it. I know that's selfish, but when I know my enemy, the most important thing to me is my family, and the enemy is anybody who would try to harm them. That's where I'm at. So I'm going to go to maybe one or two more. Let's go to somebody. Hey, Shooter. You know what? We need a short clip for Shooter. That's it. I got to make one. Because we got one for Sensei.
We do not train to be merciful. We do not train to be mercy is for the weak. Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, here, in competition. In competition.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper!
And then anybody that's going to cry.
You're going to cry in the car. You're going to cry in the car.
Anybody talking shit?
Erroneous on both counts.
Any of the trolls?
You can read this. You can read this.
People that are triggered?
The anger sharks are swimming.
People that I disagree with?
Yeah, well, that's just like, your opinion, man. Your opinion, man.
So we're going to have a new one, apparently. I think it's going to be the shooter. The little handgun. Farmer says, if he walked the trails all the time, did he know the McCains? Maybe. Violet says, I hope one day we will know the truth. Waiting on an interview or book from Doug Carter. Really? About what? About how he wasn't really part of the investigation, was just probably briefed on it a few days before each presser. Brown Skittle, what up? I know Fig made reference to the several search warrants on the shed in one of his videos about a year ago. A shed? Well, I think a shed and a garage are two different things. That'd be my answer to that. I put some vanilla flavoring in my bulk tobacco a couple of times, and every time it made up a carton of cigs. I had a headache all week long. Yeah, it could be something weird. Like, I'm already cleared up now. But when we're done, I'm going to go eat dinner and probably smoke another J. And it'll come back. I have to go to the dispensary and just chuck that rest of that. Bad boys for life. It's funny. All right, one more comment. Let me pull up. Are you guys going to be able to catch the live stream tomorrow? 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. No, this is going to be a nice long live stream. I mean, I have a lot of content on this. Yeah, this one kind of got its hooks into me. Carly Lane Gousset. So we're going to cover this case tomorrow. Missing person. She vanished without a trace. A lot of interesting circumstances. And we will talk about that mañana. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Hit the like button on the way out. If you're part of the replay crew, let me know what you think. I'll get back to you in the comments. If you're subscribed and you're not a member, consider becoming a member. Pretty much every Wednesday we do get together. Every once in a while, I'll drop a little video or do just little things here and there just for the members. And then also we have a Discord that is members only. That's pretty fun, pretty chill. And we've done a good job of keeping most of the trolls out. The determined ones will always get in, right? Just the name of the game. But on that note, take care, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow. Early, bright and early. Take care. Peace.